Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Nerd Mode On, and I got a commentary session for you guys over Battlefield 3. I know many of you guys have been looking forward to the content that has been returning, so yeah, here it is for you guys. Officially, it is 9:30 in the morning, and I'm doing a commentary on Friday, so I'm a little awake-ish, not really. So let's see how this goes. Yeah, so without further ado and all my randomness, let's jump into my first topic that I had enlisted for you guys to discuss and casually go about. I wanted to talk about the Battlefield 3 status as of right now, in my opinion, or the community's overall look towards it. For me, I've been playing it the last probably about week, pretty intensely. I mean, clocking in about 8 hours, probably or more a day or whatever, but yeah, it's been real fun. I've been playing with a couple guys, and we've just been getting ridiculous wins. I mean, it's like every time we squad up, it's just an automatic win. The other team is just paralyzed by their ability not to be able to move. May that be spawn trap or just, they're just bunkered down in a building and they're stuck. But it's been a blast. As you guys can see in this game, this is probably a couple weeks old, but this is a fast-paced game. I figured you guys would like it because it's not a lot of slow parts where I'd have to speed it up or cut it out or whatever would have you be. But yeah, so I chose this game because I thought it would satisfy your guys' needs and keep you guys tuned into the gameplay. As I do tear a big hole, I think, in the defense's first two bases. I can't think if I'm playing anyone, or I can't remember if I'm playing with anyone in this game. So if I am, I'm sorry, I can't really see your name with the preview screen. I'll probably end up watching it and put it in the description if you are enlisted or, are in the game or whatever with me. But if you guys would like to play Battlefield and maybe you're a viewer, for sure hit me up on Xbox Live. Gamer tag will probably be in the description because as of right now I'm looking for anyone to play with. I got about 3 guys usually that are on, it seems like all different times, so for sure I can hopefully get you a spot. But with all that said, I kind of want to talk about what I've been witnessing within the community, or at least how people are playing the game. And I can't judge anyone how they want to play it. I mean, I can say whatever I want on Xbox, but that doesn't stop people from doing anything, that's for sure. But I don't know, it's kind of depressing when you see the mortar thing still go on. I mean, it's cut down a lot since the patch that decreased how many mortars that you could launch per minute, which, I'd hail freaking DICE for at least fixing that. I mean, it didn't go really at the approach that I would have probably taken, but, I mean, making it so you can't spam it as much, that's perfectly fine with me. But the mortars in general, I'd like it if they'd make it so that you couldn't use them on the offensive safe zone. It always seems like there's a huge cover for them, like behind a rock or a building or whatever. Depends on the map you're playing. But it'd be nice if that could maybe be addressed. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, only time will tell. But as for the explosive radius on them, I don't really see that as a problem. I've been almost direct impacted, and they're super weak. They do nothing for damage. But it's just the fact that they can hide, in their spawn and smoke it or do whatever they so wish. But we'll see. Maybe that'll get fixed. You never know anymore. Another thing I've been seeing a lot of, and I understand why people are using it because it's a very powerful weapon. Why would you not use it? I mean, kind of frowned upon if you're using anything else. But I've been seeing the FAMAS and the USAS, whatever, 12 or something, the USAS. Yeah, that's kind of depressing when that gun is being used again, but who am I to judge? The only thing I find really overpowering about, I guess, the USAS is that you can have frags with it, and it adds explosives and shrapnel and basically kills you ridiculously fast. I've seen the range on that. That's a monstrosity. That's way too long for a shotgun. Granted, I do know in shotguns in real life, they have a huge radius, but, I mean, you gotta kind of keep it fair. I mean, if you're, such as, just any map, like Operation Metro, if you're in any of those close, or, I don't know, I guess not really close, but the alleys, where the trains go, I mean, you're screwed. I mean, I don't care what gun you have, that thing just completely tears people up, and I'm not talking about, through the little alleyways or the the tunnels, more or less. That's not exactly what I'm referring to. It just seems like they have a really long range, and I think it kind of makes them a little OP, but what do I know? But as for the FAMAS just seems like the rate of fire is the only thing, I guess. But I guess it does have quite a bit of kick if you do add a red dot. And then if you don't use a red dot, then you have the horrible iron sights, in my opinion, that are horrible. And, but, I mean, I'm not hating on the game. I don't want you guys to get the impression that I'm hating Battlefield. No way. I mean, I put in easily a week of just hardcore in it, you know. I don't hate the game in any means necessary. As of right now, I'm level 44 out of the 45 in the first session thing, and then I think you go to, I don't want to say prestige, but it's kind of like a prestige, I guess you could say, and I don't know where that ends, so, I mean, I've heard it's 100 and something, but that's just what I've heard from people. Who the heck knows? But as for that, that's really the only complaints I really have. I mean, they fixed a lot of things. The connections are a lot better than I remember in the beta, obviously, and then the pre-launch, you know, like during the launch sessions. I don't really have a problem with the whole screen tearing or lagging or any of that, which is good. I mean, I witness it occasionally, but it usually dissipates, or you obviously just stomp the other team and back out and regroup. Partying sessions still a little weak. You know, that's kind of hard to fix when you got 4 people and you're trying to join a server, so I can understand the frustrations on their behalf, and any means necessary. I mean, all the people that are complaining really aren't making a solution for it, and I'm not a tech person, so I don't really know, you know, the coordination between linking up into the server, so, it's usually not a problem with people leaving so much. It seems like when one team gets completely annihilated, they leave, at least half of them. So we usually just switch over. It's really not a big problem, and if anyone else is witnessing that, I'm sure you can probably agree that people leave pretty quick. You know, if there's a chopper up, usually half the lobby will just bail. So I guess that's really not the hugest problem in the world. It's just a little frustrating when you're kind of hoping the first game to get all squatted up usually, but maybe, hey, they're still working on it. Maybe sooner or later it'll get fixed. But that's kind of what I want to talk about for like the cons of it, you know, and what I'm not really impressed by, but, you know, it's better than most of the stuff on the market currently. But I really am impressed by, you know, their support, and I've been talking to some of the guys on the you know, like their Twitter or whatever, and they're so kind and responsive, you know, it's usually within the at least 30 minutes they're replying and, you know, thanking you for your suggestion or whatever, but it's kind of their obligation to do so anyway. But, you know, my point, at least they're, you know, not hiding behind their computers, you know, and not taking in input. So I've given us a couple suggestions. They can either take them or leave them, you know, it's up to them. I mean, obviously it's their game, they have copyright and all that to it, but it's always good to take suggestions from the community. That way, in order to satisfy the many, things kind of do need to be addressed, but this is all opinionated because I have no facts to back it up. It's just a frustration that I encounter when I do play. But yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about for Battlefield 3, more or less. I'm just going to talk to you guys about the content that you guys can be looking forward to in the upcoming videos. Last video I did talk about what kind of the catch-up and what this channel is going to be more or less about. I kind of want to just re-emphasize on that, I guess you could say. I have been playing a little bit of Modern Warfare 3 lately, not anywhere near as much as I was clocking in before, but I have been putting some time in. I've been playing a little bit of that infected mode, which is brilliant. I really thought it was going to be garbage when I first heard of it, but then I realized they put the 5.7s akimboed in there, and I don't know if that's been changed or not yet, but man, I can tear it up with those things. I've gotten a couple of 8-man feeds with them just by playing infected, being the last guy alive, and I'll probably post those for you guys. They're about 17 to 22 gameplays and 1 death, so they're obviously up to standard in my opinion. But yeah, I've been playing some infected, and it's really fun. Here that drop zone came back, and that's great. I was actually getting into drop zone, or at least we were trying to get clips for it for the montage earlier on, but I'm always going to be like a demolition guy. I love to see their spawns not flip. But I've heard that there has been a little bit of changes to their spawns in demolition. At least that's what my friends are telling me, but I haven't actually went in there myself and done any, you know, I guess you could say research on it, or, you know, searched it or any of that. So I don't know if that's just them just getting shot in the back or what's all up with that. but I know the spawns weren't exactly 100% stable in the first place, so I guess only time will tell. I guess I'll have to jump in there sometime and see what the whole changing was all about. But yeah, that's kind of what I really wanted to talk about for that. For upcoming games that you guys may be looking forward to, or me, playing or whatever, and giving you guys input, commentaries, live sessions. I did talk about in the last video that I do plan to do Battlefield 3 commentary or live commentary. So you guys will get to see my awesome reactions by that. That'll be interesting. But granted, it is a campaign. I so wish to do it just because I think it'd be a good chance for you guys to see how I react during live sessions and all that. As for my friends, they think it'd be a great idea because they're so supportive and all that stuff. But yeah, I think you guys will look forward to it. I don't think there'll be any issues, I guess you could say. Granted, it is only campaign and all that. I think it'll be good for people that don't actually, own the game personally, or maybe you're not much of a, playing it by yourself kind of person or whatever. You just, I don't know, rather watch it on the internet or something. Different, stranger things have happened, I guess you could say, correct? But, yeah, so that's really more or less what I really wanted to get at, the bread and butter to this commentary. As for other things, I kind of want to upgrade my computer a little bit. I need to buy a Tregabyte or whatever to store all this stuff on. So just in case something does happen, which I'm not too worried, but it's better to be safe than sorry. I'd rather have another storage device. That way I can keep all the gameplay. So if something would happen later on, or some kind of hacking, I don't know, whatever happens with this whole YouTube stuff. But it's always good to have record and all that. So I do plan to buy a Tregabyte with the upcoming, I guess you could say, paychecks, but it's just my tax return, which I was pretty impressed by how much I received. It's a pretty good profit margin, I guess you could say. But yeah, that's something I plan to do. I plan to upgrade my computer to its maximum, so that way I can perform, and hopefully it'll change the render settings so I can render above 59 point whatever the decimal point is. It's some random number. But as for the commentaries that I've been doing lately, they've been doing about 50.0 whatever. There's a bunch of zeros, but that really doesn't have any purpose. But my point I'm trying to make is I'm hoping that increases that so I can bring you guys, I guess you could say, better HD. I'm pretty satisfied with how it looks from what I'm viewing it on. I usually watch all my videos, at least when they first come up or whatever, when they're all done. That way I can make sure that there's no audio glitches, gameplay tearing, or whatever you could say. But yeah, I always make sure that everything's up to standards with the whole YouTube crowd and all that, because I do watch a fair share of my own videos, or a fair share of, like other people's videos, I guess you could say. And I don't want to say I compare and contrast, but I do take note on what they do, for sure, because I want to bring you guys the best content that I possibly can bring you. I mean, you don't want to be downgraded or anything. I mean, you deserve the best, since everything is switched over from standard definition videos to the high definition rendering and bunch of editing and all that good stuff that everyone solely enjoys doing. But yeah, that's really kind of what I'm looking for. Upgrading the computer and all that, that way everything just looks better. I'm pretty satisfied with the mic. I haven't heard any complaints from you guys with the audio and all that, so I'm assuming everything worked out for the best. But guys, I'm sorry to say, but the gameplay is going to be coming to an end. I'm glad you guys stay tuned, and I will talk to you in the next video.